Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your ultimate home for everything Liverpool. Today we've got massive updates. A wonder kid signing a new deal, transfer talks heating up, big news on Marc Guéhi, and honest words from Arne Slot shaking up the midfield. Plus, what legends like Philipp Lahm are saying about Florian Wirtz, and the Haaland versus Isak debate getting a Liverpool twist. Stay tuned, this one's packed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Rio Ngumoha signs new Liverpool. Contract as remarkable progress rewarded Liverpool. Rising star Rio Ngumoha has been rewarded with his first professional contract after breaking into and scoring for Arne Slot's senior side. Rio Ngumoha has been rewarded for his progress at Liverpool with a first professional contract. The winger only turned 17 last month and has now penned terms with the club he joined from Chelsea in the summer of 2024, and Ngumoha has risen to the first-team ranks since making his debut for the club in a UEFA Youth League draw with AC Milan 12 months ago. He was handed his first senior outing in an FA Cup win over Accrington in January. It was this summer, though, that has seen the former Chelsea teenager start to nail down a spot in the senior squad. A hugely productive preseason campaign under Arne Slot saw him score 3 times against Stoke City, Yokohama F. Marinos, and Athletic Club before he was given his Premier League debut last month, which came in the dramatic 3-2 victory at Newcastle United. The England under-19 became the youngest scorer in the Reds' history that night, when he netted a 100th-minute winner against the Magpies at the age of 16 years and 361 days, a first. Appearance in the Champions League came in the 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid on September 17, before a first start of the season came on Tuesday night in the 2-1 triumph against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. Such has been Ngumoha's ascent that the club view him as a senior option in Slot's squad, providing competition for Cody Gakpo on the left side of the attack in a star-studded frontline department that also contains Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, and Federico Chiesa. Salah, who finished 4th in this year's Ballon d'Or rankings, spoke about the advice he had given Ngumoha following his incredible strike at Newcastle. "He's still so young," Salah told Men in Blazers media network. "I told him after the Newcastle game, just leave the social media alone. Okay, you can be happy about the goal with your family, with your friends. Enjoy the moment to the max because it's like your first moments in football. But don't really get engaged and just get your appreciation from the outside world, because it's always going to be fake. You're going to always try to seek that feeling from outside if you just get the appreciation from outside. So what future is waiting for him depends how he's going to handle the situation. How are we going to work? I need to work hard and just stay humble because he's very young." Liverpool close in with significant deal deemed a formality on one condition amid Guéhi big news. A new update on Marc Guéhi's future has boosted Liverpool after their deadline day transfer fell through, while FSG close in on a significant deal. Liverpool have made a statement in recent months, having invested over 400 million on signings in this summer's transfer window as the biggest spenders in Europe. This has cemented Arne Slot's side as the best team in the Premier League, as they have won their first 5 games of this season to move clear at the top of the table, as proved by Liverpool's immense transfer business. Owners FSG and other club chiefs have been busy in recent months, with the Premier League giants also hard at work on a takeover to create a multi-club model. Ligue 1 outfit Toulouse and La Liga side Malaga have been mentioned as options, but Liverpool chiefs appear to have settled on Getafe as their preferred option, who claim FSG are closing in on purchasing Getafe as they have completed due diligence as they assess the potential of adding the club to their portfolio. Liverpool are said to have considered 25 clubs across Europe as options before landing on Getafe, with a takeover deal considered a formality on one condition, who claim FSG are closing in on purchasing Getafe as they have completed due diligence as they assess the potential of adding the club to their portfolio. Liverpool are said to have considered 25 clubs across Europe as options before landing on Getafe, with a takeover deal considered a formality on one condition. On the pitch, Liverpool's weakness is arguably at center-back, as they are short of options without Giovanni Leone, who has suffered an ACL injury. Leone's injury has left Liverpool with only Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, and Joe Gomez as their fit and natural center-backs, so their failure to sign Guehi could come back to haunt them. Liverpool and Crystal Palace agreed a deal worth around 35 $35 for Guehi, but the Eagles decided to pull the plug over their failure to land a suitable replacement. Despite this, Liverpool could still sign Guehi, who is due to become a free agent at the end of this season. Sky Sports reporter Tom White has confirmed big news on Guehi. He explained, "Interestingly, talking about Liverpool center-backs, we've got some news just into us, big news, regarding Marc Guehi. We are told that Crystal Palace realistically accepts that Marc Guehi's time at the club is coming to an end. We're told the club acknowledge it will be difficult to convince their captain to commit to his long-term future at Palace. As for the player himself, he's calm about the next steps. Remember, on deadline day in the summer, he saw a move to Liverpool collapse. They were close to getting him for 35 $35, however. Guehi stayed at Crystal Palace. He could, of course, go for a fee in January or for free next summer. Arne Slot told midfielder he had to leave Liverpool after very open and honest. Talks Tyler Morton has spoken about leaving Liverpool and signing for Lyon and the debt of gratitude he has for Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot. Tyler Morton has opened up on the very honest talks he had with Arne Slot when told he was not part of the head coach's Liverpool plans. And the England hopeful has spoken of the eternal gratitude he has for the current Reds boss and his predecessor Jurgen Klopp. Morton spent 17 years at Liverpool, rising through their academy ranks to play in the Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup, before ending his long association with the club in the summer. The 22-year-old joined Lyon in a deal worth $15 million, inclusive of attainable add-ons, with Liverpool having also negotiated a 20% sell-on clause as part of the transfer. The move came after Morton held discussions with Slot over his future after being restricted to just 5 appearances, and none in the Premier League. Last season, the midfielder had featured more regularly under Klopp in his breakthrough campaign at Anfield before he enjoyed successful loan spells in the Championship with Blackburn Rovers and then Hull City. And Morton, who started the Champions League clashes at home to Porto and away to AC Milan in the 2021-22 season, said, "Jurgen Klopp was the best coach for my development. I think at that moment I was ready to play. I'm not saying that no one believed it, but I think I was ready, and Klopp thought so too. He gave me the opportunity to play on the biggest stage for a very big club. He believed in me, allowed me to go out on loan, to develop. With Arne Slot, I didn't play as much as I wanted, even though I was ready. It was his decision, and I took it calmly, but I had to find another path. He was very open and very honest with me at the end of last season. We talked a lot, and he let me join Lyon. It was the best decision. I will be eternally grateful to Jurgen Klopp and Arne Slot in different ways. They are excellent managers, but also great men. Jurgen just wanted the best for me. He made me play great games in the Champions League and the Premier League. It was a great time. He helped me improve at every level." Morton signed for Lyon in August, after helping England defend their UEFA European Under-21 championship crown with his cross in the final against Germany being converted by Jonathan Rowe to seal an extra-time 3-2 win. Asked whether he has aims to force his way into the senior England squad ahead of the World Cup, Morton said, "I'm a very ambitious person. I'd like to play for my country first before thinking about the World Cup. A World Cup is an important step in a player's career, and it would be incredible. I hope to have the opportunity, if I continue to play well, and enjoy myself here." Morton was a starter as he helped Lyon to 3 straight League One wins before he was sent off in their 3-1 defeat at Rennes. Speaking to Le Progrès, he said, "The quality and intensity of French football are comparable to those of the Premier League, from what I've already seen. To make yourself known, to develop, you have to play in different leagues, to test yourself. Last summer, I didn't have so many opportunities in the Premier League. Coming here was a good decision. I wouldn't change anything today. I love being here. I love the fans, the players at the club. I'm living in a really exciting time. What Philipp Lahm and Nick Woltemade said about Florian Wirtz speaks volumes amid Liverpool questions Florian. Wirtz has yet to hit his stride at Liverpool following his 160-meter move from Bayer Leverkusen, but those who know him best suggest he will soon do just that. After a summer of huge upheaval, Liverpool deserve incredible credit for starting the season the way they have. The defending champions sit top of the table of the Premier League, with 5 wins from 5. They have also progressed to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup after a much-changed side won 2-1 at home to Southampton on Tuesday. They have kicked off their Champions League campaign in winning fashion. 2. A quick glimpse at the roster of players head coach Arne Slot now has at his disposal suggests that the Reds are exactly where they should be, but that would fail to pay mention to the massive changes that were made to his squad in the off-season. Refusing to rest on their laurels after returning the Premier League trophy to Anfield, Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes oversaw an unprecedented spending spree that was largely funded by a number of big-money exits. With so many players leaving and new faces arriving, it would not be unfair to suggest that it was always going to take time for Liverpool to click. In fact, despite their record of 7 victories from 7 in all competitions after losing the Community Shield to Crystal Palace on penalties, it would not be unfair to suggest that the Reds have yet to hit top gear from a performance point of view. That is certainly the case with Florian Wirtz, who looked set to be the club's marquee summer, signing until the deadline day arrival of Alexander Isak for a British transfer record 125 meters from Newcastle untied. The spotlight was always going to be on Wirtz, given the initial 100 minutes fee Liverpool paid to prize the golden boy of German football away from Bayer Leverkusen, and there have been glimpses of why he deserves that moniker. He was excellent against Palace at Wembley, and before the international break, he grew in influence in the vital victory at home to Arsenal. The 22-year-old kept his place in the team for the wins over Burnley and Atletico Madrid after the return of club football, but he started on the bench in the Merseyside derby triumph over Everton at the weekend before being given the night off against Southampton in midweek. Whether he starts this Saturday against Palace, the only other team in the top flight yet to taste defeat so far this season, remains to be seen, but he will go into that match with question marks over when Red supporters will truly see the undoubted talent that also brought serious interest from Bayern Munich, as well as Manchester City and Real Madrid, before he chose the English champions. Perhaps then, it is best to remind ourselves of what the people who have watched Wirtz more closely and have played alongside him have to say. Praise is not in short supply, with recent comments from Germany and Bayern Munich legend Philipp Lahm, as well as 69mm Newcastle United new boy Nick Woltemade, emphasizing what a player Liverpool have on their hands. Ex-Liverpool star doesn't have to think about. Answer to Erling Haaland versus Alexander Isak debate Liverpool. Striker Alexander Isak has fallen behind Erling Haaland in the race for the Premier League Golden Boot after forcing through a transfer move to Anfield former Liverpool striker Dean Saunders has claimed there is currently no debate over who is better between Erling Haaland and Alexander Isak. "I'd want Haaland over Isak," he said. "I don't even have to think about it. Haaland is proven. Isak has done it for Newcastle, don't get me wrong. But Haaland's stats are incredible. He has more goals than games for Norway and scored 5 the other day. He has 7 and 6 for Manchester City already. He's playing for a team looking to win everything, and he's starring for them. As good as Isak is, he hasn't done that for Liverpool yet. Last season, Isak was only outscored by Mohamed Salah in the Premier League. But Saunders believes that Haaland is more proven at the moment, having been at the top level for much longer. I ask myself who I'd rather face, and Haaland would be a nightmare. Saunders, speaking to best betting sites, continued, "He has more pace than you, thinks quicker than you, is bigger than you, and is better in the air than you. He's more determined, two-footed. How can you stop a player who is better than you at everything? All you can do is hope it's an off day for him, keep him as far away as possible from the goal, or stop the ball getting to him by marking him out of the game, and that's easier said than done. Isak is different. He played for Liverpool on his debut and barely touched the ball for the first 15 minutes. He wasn't sprinting about, he comes off the defenders and drops deep for 1-2s. He can run in behind, too, looking for a through ball. But Haaland is always there on your shoulder, always a threat. I think the only person who might make me reconsider for a moment is Harry Kane, but even then I'll still plump for Haaland. Isak could make another appearance for Liverpool this weekend. With Hugo Ekitike suspended, he could make his first Premier League start, having already made the XI against Atletico Madrid, Champions League, and Southampton, League Cup. I think especially when you play for a club like Liverpool, you've got to compete on all fronts, Isak told Liverpool's official website after his 45-minute appearance against Southampton. That's the main goal, to be competitive in all competitions, going out to every game wanting to win.